we're going to talk about solving equations. The first thing that I would encourage you to do as a student that might be struggling with this is to draw the river, and the river goes right through the equal sign. And then to know that we need to get the variable by itself. That's the whole goal to these, is to get that variable by itself. I have you circle the operation because that's how we're going to get the variable by itself. We do the opposite operation with exactly the same number as what's written there. And we have to do that to both sides. Now notice that I'm very careful. In this case, I'm putting it out to the side horizontally, not vertically. This actually creates 0 pairs. So they're going to cross each other out and you're going to get 0. And that means that I'm left with the x plus 0 over here. So I'm left with x according to the additive addition property. I'm going to KCC here. -3 plus -5 is -8. That's great, and this is the correct answer, but I'm going to plug this in for x just to make sure. So I'm going to do -8 plus 5. That ends up being 3, and 3 equals 3, so I know I'm right. Always check it. Another example would be a subtraction problem like this one. Ignore this one down here for just a second until we get there. Draw that river. You want to get the variable by itself. You circle the operation. You do the opposite operation with the same number and do it to both sides. This makes a 0 pair. We've talked a lot about why that works. -7 plus 4 is -3. That's my correct answer. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to put that in. -3 minus 4. I'm putting it into the problem so I can check it. I'll get -7 equals -7, so I know I'm right. See, because that was what the answer needed to be at the end. Another example would be if the number started the whole problem, or it could be that the variable's on the other side. All of the same steps follow through. Do your river. Now in this case, I want to get the variable by itself, but it's not like it's r plus something. This is -12 plus r. My whole goal is to get rid of this number, so I usually ask, don't even look at this problem, how do I get rid of -12? A lot of students already know. To get rid of -12, you have to add 12, and you do that to both sides. This makes 0 pairs. You'd have 12 reds and 12 yellows. If we use chips, that would balance or cancel each other out. 5 plus 12 is 17. That's my answer. I'm going to put it in. -12 plus 17. That gets me 5. That equals 5. So I know I'm right because that was the answer that it needed to equal. On this one, same thing. I want to get the variable by itself. Right now, 8 is in my way. I get rid of 8 by subtracting 8 from both sides. 0 pairs, I'll get n is equal to -4 because I KCC. 8 plus -4 is equal to 4. So 4 is equal to 4. Again, that's what I started with. That's what I want to end with. The one that's a little more complicated is this kind of problem right here, where I have 8 minus w equals 4. I still want to get that w by itself, so I have 8 in my way. I get rid of 8 by subtracting 8 from both sides. Get rid of those 0 pairs. But what I'm left with is this negative. It's a negative w because, as we said in class, I have 0 minus 1. That answer is -1. 0 minus 7 is -7, so 0 minus w is -w. And then I'll get KCC, I'll get -4. So -w is equal to -4. So what is w equal to? Well, that would be 4. The opposite of w is -w. So the opposite of -w is w, and we just take the opposite sign. I'm going to put that into my problem just to see if it's right. 8 minus 4 is 4. 4 equals 4, so I know I'm right. One last thing before we go is I want to go over a word problem. I'm bringing in a workbook that I have that has some word problems attached to it, and I'm going to have to zoom out here so that you can see it. And I have several that you can look at. We're just going to do this first one. And I haven't looked at it before to solve it. So, hey, you get to see it happen in real time. You earn $9 per hour for babysitting. This is $2 more than what you earned per hour last year. Well, what did you earn per hour last year? So the variable, I'm going to call it N, equals how much I earned last year. And when I do this, I like for you to actually box in what you don't know, because that's your variable. I also say, okay, underline what you do know. $9 per hour right now. And this is $2 more than what you earned per hour last year. So what did you earn last year? All right, so in our life, you know, you had money last year plus $2 got you this year's, which is $9. So we said that N is the money you earned last year, so that would be N plus 2 equals 9. Now I solve this exactly the same way. I want to get the N by itself, so I subtract 2 from both sides, get my 0 pairs. N is equal to $7. I can put that in. 7 plus 2, that equals 9. Good. I've checked it. I'm ready to go. So that's how we do those.